In early 2026, a beloved company vanished overnight. 27 years, trusted production, poof. People literally trusted this company with their lives. Now, the craziest thing is it wasn't because they started trading their quality for cash. The real reason allegedly involves billions in fake invoices, a man hiring out private chefs worth $500,000, celebrity personal trainers, and apparently 17 exotic and vintage cars. This is What the Fuck Is StopTech Edition. 1999, Huntington Beach. A group of gearheads looked at the market and said, fuck it, we'll do it. Probably not exactly what they said, but that's how it happened in my head. See, there was kind of a gap in the brake market between cheap dog shit that doesn't really function super well and expensive ass race car shit. StopTech was delivering what some of the big boys had to offer at a more affordable price for people like me and you. Basically, if you were in the tax bracket where you were driving your car home from the track, you were probably buying StopTech. StopTech was really putting in work too. And in 2013, they earned full OEM grade certification. That's top of the top. They could, in theory, have supplied automakers with their brakes at factory. So what exactly happened? If StopTech's doing so well, why'd they fall off the face of the earth? Well, in 2020, StopTech's parent company was followed up by a massive corporate buyout, First Brands Group. First Brands Group just kind of went on a buying spree here. About 48 different companies and a fuckload of names you know. Fram Filters, Anco Wipers, Walbro, Ray Bestis, Autolite, and of course Centric, and with that, StopTech. To accumulate this many companies, First Brands Group had to take on a shitload of debt. And I'll circle back on the exact amount here soon because that's kind of fucking crazy, and the whole point of the story now, we'll get to it. See, the amount of debt held was just kind of like a ticking time bomb, and the man with the timer was Patrick James. Now I'm going to give a disclaimer here up top. This is an ongoing court case, and at the time of filming, all parties have pled not guilty. So they're all not guilty until proven otherwise. They're all not guilty until proven otherwise. Now, James is really interesting. This man was the sole owner of First Brands Group, which had just bought up a ton of established companies. You'd think that kind of person would have business sense about them or some sort of big plan to turn a profit. So I started looking back into Patrick's history because I've never heard of him. I've never heard of this company. Well, it's honestly pretty hard to find anything, and apparently that's pretty intentional. Old Patty Boy here was a bit of a sequester who didn't want many folks poking around his private affairs, and seemingly for pretty good reason. From the little information I could find about the guy, there's a slew of accusations. Bad business dealings, lawsuits alleging fraud, more accusations of fraud, and I guess Mr. Shy Guy Patrick James even paid the pros to clean the internet of yearbook photos. I mean, I can't find anything about the guy. So this is where I went from researching a brake company that I liked to a bunch of shady underdealings. Patrick and his brother Edward were both indicted on 8 counts of fraud and 1 count of money laundering each. That's a total of 18 counts just between the two of them. There was another one brought by the U.S. government, by the way. Did I mention all U.S. government? But I didn't really get much of the story on him. We're focused on Patrick here. This is where shit gets really wild. First Brand Group's annual revenue was estimated to be around $5 billion. They had reported $9 billion in liabilities, but only had $12 million in the bank at the time of the indictments. To put that in perspective, that's literally less than 1% of the $9 billion claimed in liabilities. So where'd all the money go? Well, okay. According to a separate lawsuit filed by First Brand Group's new management, Patrick allegedly moved hundreds of millions from the company to fund what they literally called his lavish lifestyle. The lawsuit alleges 7 homes, $8 million to his son-in-law's wellness company, $3 million towards rent on a New York townhouse, $500,000 on a celebrity chef, and $150,000 on a celebrity personal trainer. And no, I don't know the names of them, and I tried looking. Also, a collection of 17 exotic and vintage cars. Some sources say exotic, some say vintage. I tried to find out exactly what he owned. I couldn't really find out anything. I wanted to see if he had any taste, but everything's pretty under wraps right now. And remember what I said about the debt? Well, from what I've gathered, it seems like a massive Ponzi scheme. That's how Patrick was able to even get to this point. Borrowing debt from forged assets, allegedly. So it's kind of a house of cards, ever demanding, and it collapsed right on top of the James brothers. Allegedly. Seriously, I don't know how often I need to say this. I don't want to get sued. This scheme was literally so insane, it caused a $10 billion loss that hit the stock market. Even BlackRock felt it. Not to mention, it had fucked with supply chains of Ford and GM. So there it is. That's the reason StopTech vanished. It was trapped inside a vehicle that ironically couldn't stop and they had to shut down production. All in all, Patrick and his brother pled not guilty, and their trial's still going on, but that's not really what we're here for. That's probably for a true crime podcast or something. Hey, if you made it this far, I want to thank you. I love you so much. I'm new to this. I'm new to this whole thing. When I heard about what happened to StopTech, when my buddy told me, like, did you know StopTech's not a thing? I was like, dude, I literally have the brakes and rotors on my RX-8. I love that company. What happened? And then I looked at it, and it turned out to be like this massive house of cards. So it's super cool. Hey, thank you. I love you. That's what happened to StopTech. I don't know how to end this video. I don't even know how the script turned out. Let me know how I did. If you think it sucked, tell me. And if you liked it, tell me too. But if you think it sucked, maybe don't leave a mean comment. I love you. It left me like my dad.